YouTube vinyl community, Rascals fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about the actual set here this time, the complete singles A's and B's from the Rascals. A few months ago, I did an unboxing video where I kind of showed what this thing looked like opening it up for the first time. But I didn't go into detail as to how it sounded, what the songs were like, the detail about the packaging. I kind of just did a basic overview just looking at it for the first time. So between there and now, I've had plenty of time to listen to this thing, and it's just a journey, man. It's such a cool ride to be on, to hear them so young and so fresh on Ain't Gonna Eat My Heart Out Anymore. Then getting into the really cool, funky jazz stuff of the early 70s. This group went through a lot of transition by that point, musically. That has definitely, I feel like, been forgotten about over the years, and definitely needs to be revisited. But, you know, it's very cool to hear this, because I've had Rascals' greatest hits, and I've had their albums before, but I've never like sat down and played them all in one swoop. But I did a lot of that with this thing as I've been hanging around the house, maybe cleaning or whatever, just sitting around listening to it. Hearing their transition and hearing their growth as songwriters and their development of understanding songcraft and pop hooks and lyrics and what they wanted to sing about. It's fascinating to see where this group went. They made some of the best music of the 60s, and when you hear it all here, I mean, this thing's loaded with great tracks. You get all the big hits, of course. All their singles are on here. Obviously, that's what it's called. But you get some really good B-sides on here, and just some really good A-sides that were totally forgotten about. I mean, like, Hold On, I'll tell you in a minute. Like, that song is so good. Real Thing is awesome. Heaven, Baby I'm Blue, See, Any Dance Will Do, Rainy Day, the B-side of A Beautiful Morning. Holy moly, that's a good song. Yeah, If You Knew is a good one. Anyways, yeah, so as I've been playing this thing, I have just been re-falling in love with the Rascals, and especially because of how clean this thing sounds. I have all my Rascals on record. I don't think I have too many of their CDs. So whenever I hear it, it's a little bit scratchy and poppy because these records are well loved and they're old. So hearing it clean for the first time is a fascinating experience because it's so amazing. It's wonderful on here. It sounds like it's like it kind of explode out of the speakers. The horns and the big swelling moments at the end of that track just are so loud and so clean. It sounds like a roller coaster trying to stampede through your house. But I love it. So yeah, for those who missed the first video, I'll just kind of show you what these things look like. They did this in a huge package, this really cool box set. And it folds out just like an old school album would, like from the 40s, where you put your 78s in these sleeves, hence why they call them albums, because photo albums were like that. And I showed this in the last video too, but you get a signed little picture here with some of the record sleeve pictures with Gene and Felix's name on it, which is really cool. They signed that. But you get some just absolutely fantastic pictures of the guys. So let me see about showing these off here, which I showed a lot of this already, so I'm going to repeat myself here. But you get a good story of these guys, told firsthand, a lot of quotes from them. It was written by Ed Osborne in 2016, a lot of this stuff. But the coolest thing that I like about this album is that there's a lot of things on here that I never heard before. So you get the Spanish version of Groovin', the Italian version of Groovin', which I think is really cool. A lot of bands in the 60s were doing that, where they'd sing like the German version of a song. You had the Beach Boys doing In My Room in German. The Beatles did She Loves You and I Want to Hold Your Hand in German. But hearing songs in Spanish and Italian, I've never heard a group do a song in Italian before. Very, very cool. But it's great because it shows you, where the song charted, what its peak was, when it came out, the actual release date. They nailed this thing. So, for instance, let's look at Groovin'. It was recorded in March of 1967, and it came out, at some point after. I thought I had the release dates, I was wrong. So I got the recorded date. That's interesting. But it went to Billboard #1, Cashbox #1, Record Roll #1. That thing just nailed the charts on that one. And the labels on these things are so cool because they recreated the original Atlantic ones. But when they moved over to, what's the word I'm looking for? Atlantic, and then Atco No, I'm getting myself backwards here. Columbia. Yeah, Atlantic was first, and then when they moved to Columbia, they started looking like these, which is pretty cool. But they're all on these really nice colored discs. Side 4 happens to be green, but side 4 is fascinating because that's all the stuff that's like no one knows about. I mean, you got Happy Song, Lucky Day, Brother Tree, Echoes, Hummin' Song. There's some good stuff on that one for sure. I would say most people would recognize definitely the first 2 records, and then record 3 is when things start to get heavier with Heaven, Baby on Blue, Sea, which this looks great video being staring at my lap. You're holding this thing down. But there's some also unexpected ones on here, like You Don't Know by Gene is on here, which is really cool. Right On is a really cool song. But, excuse me, the overall clarity of this thing is what captured my attention so much, is that it sounds like I'm hearing the Rascals for the first time. So in that respect, you get this humongous set of some of the best music ever recorded, on these really cool multicolored discs with great information on the inside about the band, with actual quotes from the guys. And it's so lovingly put together. It's in nice, heavy quality jackets here. And it sounds fantastic. The only hiccup I have to this is track 1, side 1. I ain't gonna eat my heart out anymore. Skips. I can live with that. Maybe at some point down the line I'll pick up another one and put this away or something. But if one song skips out of the entire thing, that's okay. But you get all the big hits. You get How Can I Be Sure, Mustang Sally, Good Love, and You Better Run. Love Is a Beautiful Thing, Groovin', Lonely Too Long, Come On Up. I mean, you name it, it's on here. But listening to a band grow from being this really cool R&B, soul, pop band to more of a funkier, groovier rock and roll band to this jazz-influenced fusion soul rock experience at the end. What a ride. I mean, what a ride to be on. So, again, I'm not going to do a track by track on this thing because there's a lot of tracks, but overall, as a whole, lots of standouts on this thing. Great B-sides that you really can't hear anywhere else. And the clarity on this thing, the mixing that was done, it sounds like the band's in the room with you. I wonder if it's the same team that did anything with the Rhino reissue from 2017 for Groovin', or if there was anything done with it, or if they just used original master tapes. I'm not really sure how they put this thing together, but absolutely love it. So if you haven't heard it, pick it up. It's definitely worth getting into just for the sonic fidelity of the whole thing itself. It sounds like you're in the room with the Rascals. So that's it. Just a super quick video to ramble about this thing because I love it so much. And the Rascals complete singles A's and B's. 9 out of 10 for me. Hands down. Love this thing. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.